Check. Good morning, traders. This is Barry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. I'm not going to get into yesterday's action at all because we are quite a large gap up this morning with the results being in. I just want to go and look at right now the Qs are trading at 500, so they do have a little bit of room. They could actually run up. The NQ could run up another 400 points potentially today, and that would be 200 points at a time. And then, obviously going back 200 would not be an issue either. However, for the S&P 500, we are currently trading 590 uh, or 588.60, so just a little bit under 590. And there's not a whole lot of positioning up here. You can obviously get up, and 600 would be, what you'd want to see. Keep in mind for the week, right? Your floor should be 580 still. I don't think that's happening today. Uh, Obviously, we should get some distribution up here, if nothing else. And as we look at the cash market, uh, very similar thing. We're trading basically 5,900 in the cash right now if we were to open, and then we can slide up a little bit more to the top. So it's really the SPY that needs to prove itself if you can get distribution higher. Keep in mind now that we are in positive gamma now, so you should get mean reverting trades. You should get less volatility potentially. So watch the VIX and everything, but it's potentially we could just have a very contracted maybe 50 to 80 point bell range in the ES, and then potentially only about a 250 point range in the NQ after the bell rings. Uh, so we'll have to keep our eye on that. We obviously have swept over the top of where we are. So the previous high was 59. 27 quarter, and we're only about 7 points over that right now. So obviously we're going to open up on a look. We should get a little bit of a check back at some point in time. We'll have to see how far we check back. On an extreme case for a check back, if we have a little bit more volatility than I'm thinking we could have, you could check back close to this 58.78. That would be about 50 points down from where we are right now. If we look at just our last swings, we were just up here basically last Wednesday. We're right back to where we were last Wednesday on the Nasdaq, and you have to go back to basically October 17th to get when we were back up here for the ES. But we'll see if we can get, and again, a check back somewhere to this 58.90 level, uh, which would be about 45, 50 points down, and then potentially a check back down into 580. So about another 100 points down for the NQ would be the first area that I'll be watching to see if you get any bids. 139 and a quarter points in the overnight session. You can see that we spiked up here is around 3 a.m. When the results come out. I think that they had finally called Pennsylvania. I think one of the other networks called it a little bit earlier, but that is the results. And I think basically now what the market really wants to see, obviously we have the FOMC tomorrow, right? They're going to do tomorrow, but obviously the Republicans control the White House now. They control the Senate. If they can get a two-seat majority or better, right? If they can pick up one more seat, last I looked, they were up one. Uh, 2 seats total, but one in the positive. They need to really be over two. They need to be at +2, and then they'll have total control to do whatever they want in the Senate because they'll get the people that are sticks in the muds against their agendas out of the way. They won't be able to control anything. It'll be total control. So we'll have to see where the House flies, and I think that's what the market will be the next catalyst for the market is when we know where the House sits. If the Republicans can get that as well, I think you're going to see a very happy market coming out of here. If the House stays, if the House moves to Democratic control, that won't be the case. So we'll see. I haven't looked to see, where it's expected to go right now. Last I looked, there was a flip of one in the Republicans already have control, so one more in their favor. So we'll see where we go from there. But that is the next shoe to drop, if you will, is what happens that can Republicans pick up one more seat in the Senate if they haven't already since I looked last, and can they maintain control or get even more control of the House of Representatives? For today, what I'm watching is just be aware of the news cycle, and I'm expecting distribution around this area. So potentially, I would 820 to 830. Uh, you know, so I guess to make it easier, I'm looking for potentially another 100 to 150 points up and potentially just another 100 to 200 down. Not that we're going to end that way, but as far as range. So there's a high likelihood that we just stay within a 200 to 225 point range uh, in the NQ. And for the ES, you know, like I said, getting back here to it's potential that you just have a 55 to 70 point range in the ES today. Uh, so after the bell rings, I think the easy money was made overnight if you, were in on those sequences. If not, I think it's going to be a little bit more two-sided today uh, with the action. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. And then we can look forward to the FOMC. Remember that is still an overhang, but we already know that FOMC is just going to do a quarter point cut, but it's really what he has to say at the press conference that matters.